Welcome to Friends with Benefits Car Club, where we talk about everything happening in the car world, from the absurd to the awesome. On today's episode, Infiniti is throwing a clearance sale so desperate you'd think they were going out of business. They're not yet. Meanwhile, Tesla owners are getting vandalized because people are mad at Elon. Because, keying a Model 3 will definitely make a billionaire lose sleep. Porsche just drifted an EV into the Guinness World Records because apparently sideways is the new forward. BMW is unveiling its next-gen iX. Mitsubishi is either launching a new SUV or ghosting the entire industry. And Kia is recalling the Niro for airbag issues. Because nothing says safe family car like seatbelts that might not work. It's gonna be a wild ride. So hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. Infiniti is throwing what can only be described as the automotive equivalent of a fire sale, slashing up to $16,000 off the QX80 SUV in what feels like a last-ditch effort to get people to notice it. And let's be real, this thing needed a price cut. The QX80 has been riding the same platform since before TikTok existed, and while some might call that sticking to tradition, the rest of us would just call it old. For context, the 2024 Infiniti QX80 starts at around $75,000, but when you compare it to competitors like the Cadillac Escalade, Lincoln Navigator, BMW X7, and Mercedes GLS, you start to see why they're throwing discounts around like candy at a parade. Infiniti's idea of luxury hasn't exactly aged well. Sure, it's got a V8 with 400 horsepower, and it's big enough to be confused for a small yacht, but the interior feels like an iPhone 6 in the age of the iPhone 15. The tech is dated, the infotainment system is clunky, and while some people love the old school V8 power, most luxury buyers today are looking for something hybrid, electric, or at least fuel efficient, none of which apply to the gas-guzzling QX80. In fact, with gas prices where they are, Infiniti might as well offer a free gas card for a year just to make this thing more appealing. So, the big question, would you buy one with a $16,000 discount? On one hand, that makes this a much better value than before, but on the other, you're still buying an SUV that was barely competitive 5 years ago, let alone today. Infiniti, if you're listening, maybe it's time for a new model instead of just slapping discounts on the old one. Owning a Tesla has never been drama-free, but in 2025, it's starting to feel like driving one automatically enters you into a social experiment on human rage. Tesla drivers have always faced anti-EV hate, dealing with everything from gas truck owners, icing charging stations, because apparently blocking a charger is a personality trait, to people unplugging Teslas out of pure spite. But now, there's a new layer of hostility, one that has nothing to do with electric cars themselves, and everything to do with Elon Musk's increasingly political presence. Reports from Tesla owners are flooding in, detailing more frequent vandalism, keying incidents of slashed tires, aggressive road rage, and even verbal abuse, simply because of the association with Musk. One Cybertruck owner complained to Business Insider that people keep flipping her off because her truck is seen as a political statement. Others on the Cybertruck Owners Club have even voiced fears about becoming targets of hate crimes. And it's not just happening to individual Tesla owners. Musk himself is facing public backlash on a massive scale. Activists recently protested outside Tesla's Giga Berlin factory, projecting messages onto the building that accuse Musk of supporting far-right ideologies. One particularly dramatic message even read "Heil Tesla," drawing direct comparisons between Musk and authoritarian figures. While some of this hostility may be unrelated to Tesla ownership, there's no denying that Musk's transformation into a political lightning rod has put an uncomfortable spotlight on his customers. And while there are plenty of other EV options on the market, no one should have to worry about their car being keyed just because people dislike its CEO. At the end of the day, whether you love or hate Musk, don't take it out on someone's car. Maybe just go scream into a pillow instead. If you think electric cars are just for eco-conscious commuters who drive like grandmas, Porsche is here to prove you very, very wrong. The Porsche Taycan GTS just set a Guinness World Record for the longest continuous drift by an EV, sliding sideways for a mind-boggling 10.87 miles. That's over 170 laps around a 200-meter skid pad with the car never once straightening out. Now, if you're not familiar with drifting, let's put this into perspective. Imagine trying to drive in a perfectly controlled slide for over an hour straight without spinning out, losing control, or stopping. It's not just about having a powerful car, it's about precision, car control, and an insane amount of skill. The record attempt took place at the Porsche Experience Center in Atlanta, where a Porsche instructor pushed the Taycan GTS to its limits, keeping it sideways at a consistent angle for the entire run. the secret. The Taycan's rear-wheel drive setup, instant torque, and incredibly balanced chassis made it perfect for drifting. Unlike traditional drift cars that require clutch kicks, gear changes, and precise throttle control, the Taycan delivers smooth, immediate power, making it surprisingly easy to hold adrift. The crazy part, the Taycan GTS isn't even Porsche's most powerful EV. That honor goes to the Taycan Turbo S, which has 750 horsepower and could probably drift halfway to the moon if given the chance. So what did we learn? Electric vehicles can absolutely be fun, and if you still think electric cars are just for Prius drivers, Porsche just proved you wrong in the most spectacular way possible. BMW's controversial yet shockingly competent iX is getting a big refresh for 2026, and this time they're promising more power, more technology, and hopefully fewer complaints about the grille. Yeah, probably not. Let's start with the good news. BMW is reportedly boosting performance across all trims, meaning the current 516 horsepower xDrive, 50 and 610 horsepower M60 could get even more ridiculous. Rumors suggest that a true M version of the iX could be in the works, pushing past 700 horsepower. That would officially put it in the same league as the Tesla Model X Plaid and the Lucid Air Sapphire, which are both stupidly fast. The iX's battery tech is also getting an upgrade, likely improving range, charging speed, and efficiency. Right now, the iX gets up to 304 miles per charge, but with BMW's newer gen battery packs, we could see that push closer to 400 miles. Inside, BMW is doubling down on its iDrive system, which will integrate even more AI-powered features, voice controls, and futuristic tech. Because nothing says luxury like having your car argue with you when you try to adjust the AC. The only real concern, the design. The iX has been controversial since day one. Some love it. Some say it looks like a luxury electric beaver. If BMW makes the grille even bigger, there's a good chance it'll start needing its own zip code. Will BMW fix the design? Probably not, but will it still be one of the most powerful tech-filled EV SUVs on the market? Absolutely. Cadillac is officially taking its EV performance game to the next level with the 2026 Lyriq-V, its first ever V-Series electric SUV, and this isn't just a badge slapped on for show. The Lyriq-V gets a serious power boost, upgraded handling, and an aggressive redesign, making it a legitimate high-performance rival to the likes of the Tesla Model X Plaid and BMW i6 M60. While the standard AMD Lyriq maxes out at 500 horsepower, the Lyriq-V cranks that up to a monstrous 615 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque, thanks to drive modules at both the front and rear axles. This power bump gives it a 0 to 60 mile per hour time of just 3.3 seconds, which is ridiculously fast for a luxury SUV weighing over 6,000 pounds. And if you want to launch like a spaceship, Cadillac's launch control system, paired with V mode or Velocity Max mode, unlocks the full potential of the dual motor system, letting you unleash that instant torque to all four wheels with full aggression. More power means you need better control, and Cadillac made sure the Lyriq-V isn't just about straight line speed. The suspension has been revised for better handling, ensuring that all that extra power doesn't just translate into a smoky burnout, though we're not saying you can't try. Bringing this beast to a stop is a set of massive Brembo brakes up front, featuring 15.35-inch rotors, nearly 3 inches larger than the standard Lyriq's 12.6-inch front rotors. These sit behind stunning 22-inch wheels, giving it an even meaner stance on the road. The Lyriq-V doesn't just go faster, it looks the part too. Cadillac has shaken up the styling, adding blacked out trim, unique V-Series badging, and a more muscular stance to separate it from the regular Lyriq. Inside, Cadillac keeps things familiar, but adds heavily bolstered seats to keep you locked in when you're launching at warp speed. You also get V-Series sill plates, a revised infotainment system with exclusive V settings, and all the luxury tech from the standard Lyriq. That means you still get the massive 33-inch media and instrumentation screen, full Apple CarPlay and Android Auto support, a panoramic fixed glass roof, and a 23-speaker AKG audio system with Dolby Atmos, because you deserve concert-level sound while doing 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds. For those who miss the sound of gas engines, Cadillac has even augmented the interior and exterior noise of the Lyriq-V, so you can still get some simulated growls and roars to go with all that silent EV power. Despite all the performance upgrades, the Lyriq-V still uses the same 102 kilowatt-hour battery pack as the standard Lyriq, meaning it keeps a respectable 285 miles of range. Not bad for something that can take off like a rocket. Pricing hasn't been announced, but expected to start north of $80,000 when it hits dealerships. If Cadillac nails the handling and performance, this could be one of the most exciting electric SUVs on the market, and a major statement from GM in the EV performance space. Mitsubishi is back in the news, and this time it's for two very different reasons. They're launching a new all-electric SUV to try and prove they still belong in the modern car industry. They're also considering completely exiting their partnership with Honda and Nissan, which could mean major trouble for their future. Let's start with the SUV. Mitsubishi's been struggling for years, and their lineup is mostly made up of budget-friendly crossovers and the Mirage, which somehow still exists. This new EV is supposed to be a fresh start, aiming at the affordable EV market, while competing with cars like the Hyundai Ioniq 5 and the Chevy Equinox EV. But here's the problem. Mitsubishi isn't exactly known for innovation these days. Their last real hit was the Lancer Evolution, and they killed that off almost a decade ago. So, while a new electric SUV sounds good on paper, they'll need more than just an average EV to stay relevant. And that brings us to the bigger issue. Mitsubishi is thinking about bailing on their alliance with Nissan and Honda, which could mean they're planning a major restructuring, or worse, a quiet exit from the industry. If this new EV flops, Mitsubishi could become the next brand to disappear from major markets, meaning this could be your last chance to buy a Mitsubishi before they become a historical footnote. So, if you've ever dreamed of owning a Mitsubishi Evolution 2026, don't hold your breath. The real question now is whether Mitsubishi will even be around long enough to make another performance car. In news that no car owner ever wants to hear, Kia is recalling thousands of Niro models because the airbags and seatbelts might not work properly. Yes, you read that right. The two things that are literally designed to save your life in a crash might fail when you need them most. The recall affects both hybrid and fully electric versions of the Kia Niro, and the issue comes down to a faulty sensor that might not detect passengers correctly. This means the airbags might not deploy when they should. The seatbelt pre-tensioners, which tighten the belt in a crash, might not work properly, which is, kind of a big deal. Kia is urging owners to get their cars checked ASAP, but let's be real. How many people actually take recalls seriously until they absolutely have to? If you or someone you know drives a Kia Niro, don't wait until you're in a real crash to find out if your airbags work. Get it fixed before you end up doing crash testing the hard way. And that, my friends, wraps up another round of automotive chaos. Infiniti is practically throwing cash at you. Tesla owners are dodging haters like it's an Olympic sport. Porsche is out here proving EVs can go sideways for miles. And Cadillac just unleashed an electric V-Series beast. What a time to be alive. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. We can take it. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Which story shocked you the most? And which car would you take home if money wasn't an issue? And if you want to catch up on previous episodes, I'll leave them up on the screen for you. Seriously, thank you for watching to the end. It means the world to us. Whether you're here for the laughs, the news, or just to hang out, you're part of the Friends with Benefits family. As always, thanks for joining us on this ride. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep driving, and remember, if the car you're driving doesn't make you feel like a superhero, you're driving the wrong one. Friends with Benefits, driving off.